In 3, 2, 1.
Already
And
live.
we're live, boys. This is a very spontaneous and unexpected hover live stream. I did not expect to go live today, but the boys wanted to. I got a DM from someone who wanted a response video, and I honestly didn't think we should probably give too much light to this short report, but you know what? It's only right. I'm just about hitting 500 subscribers. The guy only has about 500 X followers, so he's pretty small. So it's only right we settle this rivalry with our response to his X report. And to anyone who hasn't seen his X posts, my bad. I'm not on X. I kind of just read a little bit about it. I probably should get on X. But we're gonna respond a little bit to that and basically go over why Hover is still a great investment, even though the stock is down quite a lot since its highs, but it's also up quite a lot since its lows. And well, we have a lot to go over, but let's just introduce the boys here. Anthony from Silicon Valley and Mark Berry, aerospace engineer, 20 years in the space.
Mechanical engineer. Be careful now. We gotta be
My
correct.
bad. You know what? How about you introduce yourself, and we'll go from there.
All right, Anthony, your pedigree. Go ahead.
Oh wow. I'm basically a philosopher of life. I know people, situations, and circumstances, and I've studied about predicting things, and I predict a beautiful future for Hover. I have seen every single Hover video you could imagine, and I've studied about Hover quite a bit. And
He
I
is
feel like
really a Hover Wikipedia. He is underestimating it. He's in the stock before me and Mark. He's in it the longest and definitely knows about it long before the Pelican guys. So Anthony knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I was trying to buy 20,000 shares when it was like 40 cents and none of my orders would go through. So I had to like buy 50, buy 50, buy 50, buy 50. It was a real pain in the ass.
And then we have Mark, who is not only a shareholder, but speak for yourself of your background. Because the reason I want people to know this is because the guy on X basically, looked at us as a bunch of hooligans who don't know anything, probably as first timers, but that's just not true. Mark has a unique background here. I'll let him speak for himself.
Yeah, so mechanical engineer. I've been in the aerospace industry for 20 years. I've done everything from the F-35 program for 8 years at Lockheed Martin, worked in the Skunk Works, and then came to the private world of private jets. Have been on 5 different type certification programs between Gulfstream and Honda Jet. I've worked at Sikorsky. I've been around for a while, so I'm not serving up at a restaurant giving advice of what the company down the road is doing yet. So I think I'm pretty well informed of and have a pretty good pulse on the design side of what Hover's trying to do.
And I guess I'll introduce my Hover expertise. I've had 2 interviews with Brandon Robinson already, the CEO. I've done most of my videos on my channel is about Hover. And I go in doing videos, doing some research. I don't just start a video like that. I've spent many, many hours, I can't even imagine, countless hours, researching, learning, talking about Hover, and just everything about Hover. And now I'm even repping their merch out and about in public. So, take that as you will. I obviously don't have the same background as Mark here, but I think we have here a very unique dynamic of different backgrounds. And we are all kind of on the same page here on what this Hover short report is talking about. So I guess we can start diving into that and talking a little about that. Maybe first I can get to the comments here, and then we'll get into that a little. K. Dean says, F that Pelican motherfucker. I know. Should I not curse on the here or whatever?
Yeah, go right now. Go ahead.
Yeah. I know it's just one person. That's right. He's just one person, and he's literally like hiding behind an alias of a bird. Like, we don't even know his name. Actually, in his email, because he rejected to come on this show, he just responded back in that the footer was just Jack, no name, not even his Pelican logo, just Jack, just like some John Doe.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to his X account too. I went through some of his posts, and it seems like, yeah, I mean, this is what he is. He's kind of he's a bear. He wants to be, and he's, you're going to have this in investing. And I want to say to the investors that are out there too, this is going to be pretty commonplace for any business. I think if someone starts doing a short report against you, it means you're probably starting to get traction because there is something too short.
That's an interesting take.
But he liked to brag that he, is basically just sitting on a beach somewhere. My thought too, if it's a really remote beach, dude, you may need a hover someday to come rescue you if you, like catch yourself in some emergency or something. So be careful what you short.
He says also no address or company contacts of the owner found. Sus. Honestly, I thought about that a little bit. And I also thought, I don't like that he's hiding himself. But on the other side, on the flip side, I will say, when you do short a company, just like we're doing right now, you should, and just like this guy, Dean, you should expect some hate. And with some hate, maybe you do want to keep a low profile and not have your address and get some hate mail or just some bad attention. I don't know what. So I will say I will give him that to hiding himself. But he still could have gone on the show, not shown his name, said hello, said his opinion. But, we'll leave it at that. And maybe we'll go over his ex shortly. Smoke Gaming says, good to see you guys. And no, I'm not selling. Big Daddy says, let me introduce myself. My name is Big Daddy, and I'm from Los Angeles. I'm in the pursuit of becoming a firefighter. Okay, Big Daddy. Thank you. Good luck in becoming a firefighter. I'll pick Jack's wife up in a hover. Okay, Big Daddy.
Keep the comments coming. That's why I was smirking over here, because I was reading the comments. So.
This is the kind of degen retail shit that he was probably talking about. But to his credit, I will say I was surprised he didn't mention anything on the X report about the Silicon Valley meme video that we showed about no revenue. Anyways, yeah, you want to dive into that? Let's dissect a little bit.
One thing I wanted to say at the outset too, just kind of like, because we don't know, people's attention span and stuff, but you got to remember this thing was 40 cents, less than a year ago. It was 40 cents, 7 months ago or something like that? And not even that, right? So it went up 1,000% basically.
I'll tell you here in just a second what it was.
It was June 2024.
Oh yeah, in April, May, we were at 35 to 40 cents.
25, June 25. Yeah, June. Yeah. In 2025, right? So June, July, August, September, October, November. So in 6 months, it went up 1,000% basically, from 40 cents to $4. And it's like there's definitely levels to that. Like people that got in super early, we're going to get out at a certain point. There's like levels to, profit taking and stuff like that. And, the fact that it's still up, over 200% from the low, because the low was like 31 cents, 35 cents or something like that. I was looking at it the other day. And so it's up, 300% from the low to now. Right. And it's kind of like,
honestly, he should have filed that report at the top. It's very easy when we're at the bottom. And what? It went down another 10, 20%.
Yeah.
What? He put the report out when we were maybe at $2, but we were at like $4. It went down 50%. He didn't put the report then. I don't know when he started his short position. He also never disclosed anything publicly. There's no photos of his short position. How much did he short? We don't know anything. It's just a report. Speaking of, I should wear my hover hat.
Yeah, and plus too, like with the current market conditions we've been observing, I was actually really surprised and happy it was kind of just chilling in that 180, 170. But honestly, if it would have went down, I wouldn't have been super surprised just because look at all the other stuff that's been kind of going down. So I wasn't too worried about it. I kind of looked at it like a lot of stuff's been getting hit by vultures, and we were one of the last things with meat on the bone left. And also, too, if I was a movie script writer doing the short part three, I'd write one about how it's more expensive to buy short when it's over bought, but when it's oversold, it's way cheaper to short it. And all you got to do is get a buddy to buy, a 250,000 shares, a 500,000 shares when it was like a buck. A lot of these crypto bros, they got the $500 million just laying around. You buy it at a buck. You wait till it comes down. It's easy. You can buy a ton short, and then you short it. You put out a short report, and then the market's kind of weird. Everybody raises their stop losses, and then you just hit it with the hit it with the booster. It goes down, then you start blowing everybody's back out at that point. And so 10% chance it's true, but it would make a very nice fiction novel. And yeah, so it's kind of like, people were saying, is it too late to get in at 170 when we were coiling in that nice little uptick for like 3 months, and it was like 170 right before it shot up for that month straight to go up to $4. People are like, is it too late to get in at 170? This is like bargain bin prices now for this thing. Nothing's changed. Like everybody knows what the hanger looks like. Everybody knows what cash they got. Everybody knows everything. There's not like an epiphany drop on this thing. It's not like, out of nowhere, everybody's like, damn, we didn't know that.
Yeah. And they've had no news. Like their news is positive. The news that came out 10 days ago was the Air Force came and is starting to take a bigger interest in what they're doing. If the market had not gone down last week, I think HOVR stock actually would have reversed the other direction. I think a lot of this is just, you got to think about it. There's the people that are going to invest in this type of stock aren't going to have a whole lot of spine. A lot of them are swing trading, or they're jumping in and they're jumping back out again. So I think if the market's going to start to go down, they're going to start pulling out of their positions pretty quickly on a stock like this, which for all of us that, have a upward thesis of this company, now's the time to get in. Like, thanks. This just gave us a great opportunity. It just washed out anybody who doesn't have the nutsack to stay in. And now we can either DOS our dollar cost average down, or just enter your position and start to hold.
Yeah,
yep. Everybody left in now is King Kong balls. Everybody left is just King Kong balls.
Yeah, and I mean, reading some of the comments, it's again, I see a lot of, I'm going to DCA. I'm going to DOS dollar cost average down.
I'm going to buy more shares. I literally bought at the peak. LOL, I'm DCAing. I actually was DCAing. I had a daily $20 buy, and when we went to about $3+ I stopped it. I paused it for a bit, and then I had to keep going, and now I'm keep DCAing. I'm with you all. I got in heavy at 0.37, got to 4, load more shares, down 10K, and I'm DCAing. Yeah, a lot of people here are with us on that. Mark, do you want to prepare your, I don't know, you had some things you wanted to discuss, a little agenda maybe? Do you want to?
I mean, I don't really have anything written down.
Should we pop open the X response or something?
Sure, yeah, if you've got it up.
Okay. Sure, give me a second. Let me figure this out. If you want to read maybe some of the comments here while I do that. Any interesting comments? I didn't read all of them.
Yeah, I can't actually open them, though.
My emotional response today was that I thought it was very interesting. I didn't feel like fuck or anything like that. I was just like, this is interesting. Goodbye. I'm happy for the people that have an opportunity to get in.
And quite honestly, I don't think this short report really is getting much attention. Like today's drop, I don't think is a function of the short report.
I agree. Honestly, can't agree more. It's just the market's down. Like everyone's freaking out over SCWO also. in the Reddit and the Discord and everything. Yeah. Yeah, Pelican disclaimer states a lot of things. One being he might not have the short position anymore. Yeah, that's crazy to think about. But yeah, I actually really curious what his position is. All right, I don't know. Should I start reading all this? Do you guys want to just dissect any specific things?
Yeah, read it real quick, just what it says.
I want to say one thing. Before we do that. I don't necessarily think this guy's a bad person or anything like that. There's different schools of thought that people think shorting is unethical and all that kind of stuff. And if the market makers chose to make it that way when they drum up this whole universe of the stock market, and that's fine and dandy. And I'm excited about something, and I'm into it, and I think it's good. And if somebody is going the devil's, advocate direction, they want to, it's like buying property when there's blood in the streets or something like that. Are those guys bad guys? I don't know. So I don't particularly, think the whole concept is like, I don't particularly, I guess like negate every single short person, because I'm not like going to think that everything's going to skyrocket forever or something like that, even though that would be very capitalistic. The best pizza parlor should keep getting the most money and it should only keep going up. But but then on the other hand, we got to look at what they wrote. You know what I mean? So we're not like anti, if you think something's bad, you buy a bad review on Yelp for the pizza parlor. You're not a, total douchebag, but, let's see how valid this is.
Okay. So the YouTube channel that interviewed the CEO of HOVR decided to attempt a rebuttal of our report, which was us, of course. We watched the video and found it laughable and filled with inaccuracies and omissions of certain sections of our report. They asked for our human analysis. Well, here's an unedited line. New Horizon is by far one of the worst and one of the most prospectless companies I've ever seen in my career. These executives continue to try and screw shareholders by taking massive compensation packages, borderline on absurd. They are spelling shareholders' dreams that, in our opinion, are blatantly misrepresented. They're preying on the unsophisticated investors to fund their science project. It's my belief that the company will no longer be around within the next 10 years. The diligence conducted was significant and thorough, which I 100% believe. Throughout this video, they chose to attack me and my company personally in a very simple answer. If I'm wrong, I'm answerable to my bank account, which I agree at the very end there. Look, time will tell, and so will the money. And I don't know about your bank account because you didn't disclose how much of the short and when you're selling, when you're buying back your short position. But time will tell. Let's see. Attacking you, well, we don't even know who you are. We're attacking your bad position in what we believe is a bad position. And also, it's not a great short. There's definitely been a lot better and more thorough shorts. And that's why we did want a human analysis. And that's why, we refuted some of the things we said on there. Simple as that. But I guess let's continue here. Unless you guys have any thoughts on that before I keep going.
Yeah, I think you can always take a piece of information and, put it forth without the logical this is the reality, but then there's an alternate piece of information that gives context to this reality. It's like the Wolf of Wall Street. You just show the picture of the Aerodyne. These guys are getting government approval pretty soon. Radars, and it's like Aerodyne, real big. And then they show the shack. You know what I mean? It's like, you show, yeah, of course. That's what they're rocking with. They're, look at the Wright brothers. They built a damn airplane in a field. You know what I mean? I'm sorry that it's possible to do things more practically than people have become accustomed to. I'm sorry that the inflation of things make life seem that you got to have a whole bunch to do something. Like you can start fire with 2 sticks.
Okay. Well, I want to mention, like, he used my video with Brandon Robinson as due diligence on shorting the company. And that is a little bit of a personal, well, not attack, but it's just a little personal. And that's why I even made the video in the first place. And you can say, quote unquote, attacked him. But it's nothing personal. I don't even know who you are, Jack, Mr. Pelican guy. Maybe you can take some more personal stuff from other retail investors like Dean here. Fuck that Pelican guy, my thought. Well, that's what he meant. I'm skipping over some of the comments here, but we'll get back to them actually. Let's keep reading this report. My attempt to dismiss our findings about the 2 supposed facilities by hand-waving everything as R&D stage, even leaning on a vague claim from the CEO that there are other undisclosed sites, which is interesting, first of all, if there are other undisclosed sites. This is the same pattern they use to undermine our on-site investigation. I don't know anything I can't say about that. I don't know about what they did when they were there. Mocking us for speaking with wait staff. Us. Mocking us for speaking with, when we undermined them for speaking with wait staff about the company while conveniently omitting the informed statement made on location, the airport manager acknowledgement that it's an experimental thing and they're doing right now. Okay, I wasn't going to go over every detail of your short report. That's why I omitted that. And I went to the most absurd thing that I thought, that you went to a wait staff to speak about HOVR, which obviously they won't know about it. Like, I don't know. Like, my fucking parents don't even know what Palantir is. Like, and that's a huge company. Are you going to say that that's not a legit thing then? Just because a waiter doesn't know what HOVR is doesn't mean they're not legit. And then the other guy who maybe knows a little about them doesn't obviously know enough about him. And he's not wrong in that statement. It's only an experimental thing. Yes, they're in an experimental phase right now. They aren't. If this wasn't experimental, they'd be flying in the airs, and this should be a multi-billion-dollar company. So that's my response to you on that, I guess. Do you guys have anything to say about that before I continue?
Yeah. No, just keep going. Let's read through their full response too.
Sure, you're right. Okay. Number 3 of 4. They then stumbled into our section on insider sales and dilution, managing to misunderstand both the chart of the basics mechanics of their own argument, calling the chart of insider sales a timeline of dilution events. This is not only incorrect, it perfectly illustrates the level of financial incompetence we're dealing with. To be very clear, the dilution that has occurred is a major reason the stock has cratered, but it is not the chart displayed. At the end of the day, the investors have a simple choice. They can take management at its word as it bloviates about accomplishing feats no one in the industry has ever achieved. That's not true, but okay. Somehow from a glorified shed in rural Canada, or they can look at what management is actually doing, and what they're doing is every time the window cracks open, they're selling stock. We've always found action to be far more honest than press releases. We remain short HOVR. How much short are you? Let us know. All right, there's a lot to go over there. Mark, you wanna?
Yeah. First off, stating that they say accomplishing feats that no one in the industry has ever achieved. I think they have accomplished some pretty remarkable feats. Their wing and design. I would love to hear what this guy has ever spoken to an engineer before, but actually taking a wing and design ducted fan and converting that into wing-borne flight It's never been done before. You look at Archer, you look at Joby, you look at all these other aircraft. The only aircraft that has done it has been like the F-35, and that is just a radically different design concept. But the F-35 is using a ducted fan to lift half of its thrust. So, yeah, Hover has made some enormous accomplishments. It's made extremely radical aircraft advancements in design. And like, for example, just having a forward swept wing, like, Hover says the reason that they have a forward swept wing, it's not to look really futuristic. There's a lot of aerodynamic principles and human factors principles going into play right here. And also and dynamic, center of gravity dynamic principles as well. So and I would add to this, as an investor, look at their website and look at their careers page. Look at who they are still trying to hire. If they didn't have the money and if they were just lining their pockets consistently and they did not have belief in what they were doing, they wouldn't be going after these senior level engineers. Like, these are, again, and I spoke about this the other day, when you are starting up a company, like, you want to have the best people on your team. And if you look at some of the videos that Hover itself has put out, where they're actually interviewing their team, and they're actually interviewing their engineering team. No other company is doing that, and they didn't do that in the beginning stages. Like, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Archer, even though I think Archer's probably going to someday get certified if they stop buying airports. All you ever see out of Archer is Adam Goldstein. It's like it's the Adam Goldstein show. With Hover, they are actually really kind of glorifying their own team. And that takes quite a bit, for their team to get out in front of cameras and talking about why they're coming to Hover. One of their latest releases was their CTO, and he's a helicopter guy. And he basically was like, I saw what they were doing. I believe in what they're doing. And now I went and applied for a job with these guys. So, and I will say this, most helicopter pilots are not a fan of fixed wing pilots, or a fan of fixed wing. Like, there's this big, competition between fixed wing and helicopters. So to get a helicopter guy to be like, yeah, I believe in this new type of technology, it pretty much speaks volumes.
Well said.
Yeah. And I pulled up on here on the screen just some Hover careers.
I mean, if you just look through some of them: senior design aerostructures engineer, engineering lead of design and aerostructures, senior systems engineer.
How much do these pay typically? 200 plus? I don't know.
Probably for a startup where you're really trying to, where you want 150 to 200,000, probably. I mean, I don't want to completely drive the market.
We have here then what, 4, 8, 12, 13 job postings. That's usually well over $1-2 million in salaries.
Yeah. So that's if they don't have a runway to get to their flying prototype, then they wouldn't be posting these jobs and having people move to rural Canada to this alleged shack and ask people that, people are, believe me, people that are going to apply for these jobs are going to believe 100% in this product. The people that are going into the so-called shack they are going to believe 100% what they're doing and what this company is trying to achieve.
And speaking of, there's something we didn't mention on the video last time that is a great point. Archer and Joby are going after, whether it's vertical integration, they're going after building these things in a factory, and that's why they have these big facilities. As he compares Hover's small facility to Archer, Obviously, Archer is also, first of all, a much bigger market cap, so it's a little bit laughable to compare the two. But even still, Archer is not doing what HOVR is doing. HOVR isn't trying to build, vice versa, right? HOVR isn't doing what Archer is trying to do, and that's why they don't need that big of a facility. So, that's just a little point on that.
And here's the other caveat. What's to say that HOVR doesn't have in the plan to build a larger flight test facility? Like, it would be, I was actually thinking about it today. It would be fascinating to actually see if we can get in touch with like the airport manager of that airport and be like, hey, are there any plans for expansion? Do you guys have room for expansion? And then potentially get Brandon on and see if we could get Brandon to respond and say, like, what is your plan for expansion? Are you going to continue to do your flight test out of your current facility? Do you guys need to build $1 million hangar? I built a few years ago, I built my own 50 by 60 climate controlled hangar in North Carolina, and it cost me about $250,000. So, and honestly, that size hangar, they could probably build out their X7. I mean, you'd want it to be bigger. You'd probably want like an 80 by 80 or something, but you could get that built for under $1 million. So ripping on their facility, I don't know. I just think it's a bit academic.
Yeah. And
something, if they need money, like this guy says, how can I get a HOVR hat? I wish they started to sell some merch and they could just make some easy money from some merch, but they obviously don't need that. I don't know how you can get a HOVR hat. Reach out to the team. Sorry. That's what I did. And I mean, because of YouTube also, and
he's done so many interviews. I don't have them all tabulated in a notebook by date stamp and subject matter and so forth. But he 100% did say that they're looking at other facilities and other locations, and those locations are undisclosed at this time. He has 100% said that. Like, they, you know what I mean? And if it goes that way, cool. Like, if, they're doing the fans and all that stuff in their hangar, doing the simulation in their hangar, and they got the, half scale in there, chilling, doing whatever they're doing with that. But if in the end, they would, just like he said, when he was asked the question, how are you guys going to scale up? He said, partnerships and people. Like, if it's, they're not going to be, 3D printing the fuselage, in their spot. Like, they're going to get somebody to do this, get somebody to do that, get somebody to do this, get somebody to do that, put it together. That's the most financially sound way to do it anyway. They don't have to reinvent the wheel whatsoever. Like, you can literally network and get this whole thing to tie together as economically sound and as easily as possible. It doesn't have to be as like, we're doing the whole damn things ourselves.
Yeah. Hey, if there's anybody who has specific questions, put them in the comments as well, and we'll try to answer them.
Okay. I think let's see. I haven't read them all.
I don't think there's any questions at this point. There's more just people's comments, but
yeah, I'll just go through some of the comments real quick. Dean says share price is meaningless at this point. Pelican is trying to get in himself, but I don't think he is. But that'd be funny if that was his strategy. Yala, hello, Yala. I wonder who that is. Maybe one of my Jewish friends. Z-Stacker, what's up, buddy? At 40K shares, I want like 60K shares. Wow, nice. That'd be awesome.
Now's the time, Z-Stacker.
Hey, 40K is pretty damn good, bro.
Yeah.
Big Bad Daddy says, show them balls, Anthony. Anthony is not beating the autism allegations. What autism allegations? I don't know what that's.
He's saying I'm really good at math. Yeah. True.
That's a positive way to look at it. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what that meant, but fuck that Pelican guy. Oh, we read that. Whatever Anthony is on, I want double dose. You know what it is? Tell him, Anthony, what are you on?
I take a lot of garlic. It's extremely good for you. If you go on Wikipedia, in Egypt, garlic was a currency, and they fed it to the slaves because they gave them a lot of energy and kept them working. So I take one bulb of garlic every day with breakfast, and I drink olive oil.
Nicole, when she first heard that, she thought garlic was some slang for some drug or something, and you're
He
like,
thought,
no, actual the garlic clove.
yeah. The best thing to do is eat a diet that they tell people to eat when they're sick. You eat that when you're healthy. That's how you stay strong like bull.
Strong like bull. Where's that from? I forgot. That's funny. Big Daddy says Big Daddy has some jokes. Mark is low key Jack, Jack the Pelican short guy.
I don't get what that means.
Yeah.
Like you're low key the short guy.
He's calling you a double agent.
Oh,
That's not true. Maybe bad juju. Maybe that's because I put you on the thumbnail as a short face.
oh, okay.
Not what I meant,
There you go.
guys. Not what I meant.
Also, too, philosophically speaking, even though I'm not really a big proponent of this short report being a big reason for the share price, because like I said, I think that the market's been the way it is, and there was a lot of meat on the bone, and I was very happy it was doing what it was doing. But the fact that it's down, I'm not too worried about it. But if you look at, to give you an analogy to paint this picture, if you look at Oregon Trail, HOVR has a long runway ahead of it. You know, it's going to take them, a year or whatever to build the thing. And this is the first short report that's come out about it. And if you look at it, when the people left their supply stations and left the East Coast, they weren't attacked by Indians, right? They had full supplies, full bullets, very happy, no scurvy, still had plenty of lemons, right? So they could get their vitamin C and not die, right? But then as you got into the middle of the United States, a little bit through the journey there, that's when the Indians attacked because they felt like you were, weak, right? So HOVR, look at their timeline. It's like they got a little time. Like, what are we expecting? Renditions from, Andrea from Maserati, some, partnership or something like another Canadian grant. Some UAV. Like, who knows? Like, who knows? It like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like what's on the chef's menu today? Nobody knows. But if you look at the way the timeline goes, it's like this would be the time to attack them. Like if you were going to attack them, this would be the time that like the bullets aren't necessarily firing with the news. He said 3 to 6 months will be explosive. That was 2.2 months ago. So we got 0.8 months to 3.8 months until that window has elapsed of the explosiveness, whatever that may be in store for us. From their hard work at HOVR. But if you think about it, strategically, this would be the time to attack them, the share price to get an attack, because it is in that potential limbo area until we make it all the way to Oregon.
Strategically and according to your history, also historically, it's the right time.
Exactly.
I love that history. And like Dean says, whatever you're on, I want a double dose of that. I need some garlic to get some analogies flowing like that. Some interesting connections there with history. Let's continue on here. So activism investment firm. Yeah, that is literally what they are, an activism investment firm. Like they literally just short. And if you actually look at their past shorts, which we never talked about yet, they've all done bad, right? Has there been a good short that they had? You guys looked, right? They're all their past shorts. They had a short on, I don't remember what stocks, but some pretty big stocks. Qubits, right? I think.
Yeah, QBTS. They've been bad mouthing as well. They link that with HOVR as well.
They're actively spreading horseshit for their own financial benefit. My response is to companies start in a garage or a basement. We're in a hangar. Where's the problem? That's right. We're not even in a garage. We're in a hangar. And Google started that way. Steve Jobs, right? Apple. Even Disney started that way. HP, a bunch of companies. And Anthony's favorite, Aerotine. AO, what does AO stand for? I'm not sure. AO,
I think it's probably I think he hit A instead of S. He's saying the people that went to Brandon's father.
So the people went to Brandon's father to start this and gave their money is getting tricked by Brandon. LOL fucking soup. Good point. That's a good point. That's a great point. Do you think they will get into the drone industry?
They could.
They could, but I don't think so.
I think if the government comes to them and says, if the Canadian government comes to them and says, we want you to develop a platform, either it be on the existing X5 and expand on that to be a drone. They already have that technology well at hand, and it's already probably pretty closely. I mean, there wouldn't be a whole lot of engineering change that would have to be done. So we discussed that with Brandon when we've interviewed him, and he said the X5 served its purpose, and now we're focusing solely on the X7. But if somebody comes with you with a big boatload of cash and says, "This is what I want," then they will do that, and that could be. There is a question about just the explosive growth that Brennan talked about and that Anthony just expanded on. Exactly what that will be. I think it's probably more just developments of the X7. But it could also be partnership. It could be a function of news with partnerships and how they're going to develop the X7. Or it could also just be that it could be a government contract. It could be, yeah, we want the X5 and and that is now going to help you fund the X7.
You know what I once heard?
But that is all speculation too.
Yeah, it's all speculation. We can't know. But it's super exciting that we know something is coming.
Well, newsflash. This newsflash just came across. HOVR formed a deal with Anduril. They're going to be delivering doorknobs to Anduril. So, oh my God. What? I'm joking. I'm just joking. No,
yeah, like
I'm ripping on Archer because they are going to be Archer's going to be delivering motors to Anduril and not full airplanes. So instead of a $5 million airplane, they're only going to give them a $10,000 motor.
Yeah, too.
If that was real news, I wonder how people would react because a partnership with Anduril is big, but to deliver fucking doorknobs.
Big Daddy just said, "Mark, what the fuck?"
That's funny. I think
plus two. None of us are invested in HOVR because think it's.
I had to.
I knew you were joking. By the way, I knew you. Yeah, lightning doesn't strike twice. Kind of like the short report guy. You throw it against the wall 50% of the time, it sticks. No big deal. But yeah, none of us are invested.
What do you mean?
No, you were saying how often does he win? I'm like, it doesn't even matter. You throw it at the wall enough times, it's gonna stick sometimes. No big deal. You know what I mean?
You said 50% of the time it's gonna stick.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, we're not invested in HOVR because we think they're going to be an awesome UAV company. But it's like, sure, if you have a long timeline, yeah, maybe they could. Like it's not like the end of the world. He did say this fits in the back of a truck. This fits in the back of an airplane. Those are two separate products, and they both have separate purposes. And the military guys love the small UAV. They love that, and it could be used for this. It could be. It's fine. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't come to fruition, and it'd be cool if it does. It doesn't matter.
Same guy, Big Daddy says right after. I think this is directed to you, Anthony, as your responses of eating garlic. Bro, just go to the gym. That's healthier. What do you say to that?
Oh, we do that too. We do that too. We do that too.
Right. It doesn't have to be a this or that. You could go to the gym and eat garlic.
Yeah, you want to be well-rounded. You want to have solar panels, magnets. Fossil fuels, batteries. You want to do the whole thing.
That's right. Dean says partnerships. Brandon said there is an interest in X5 prototype as a drone. He did say that, but as Mark also mentioned already, that they are going to be focusing on the X7. So since they are partnering up or working with Canadian Army, can HOVR work with other military countries? Actually, that's an interesting question. I mean,
they would probably need to have like in the United States, if you are going to sell something, the DoD has to approve it. So I'm sure the Canadian government would have to have a similar type of approval. But what would most likely happen is if a different country wanted, if there was some foreign military sale, a lot of times what would happen is a defense contractor within Canada, or Canada would be the would kind of usher that entire sale. So Canada would also get it, and then Hover would sell it to a foreign entity as well.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not some military tech that's going to be like, like what Anduril's building to fight people and really against foreign adversaries. This is like just useful transportation, right?
Yeah,
I don't know what
this is
reconnaissance.
This is the next best thing in mobility.
Right.
Where
well, my point is, like, there's not some friction to sell it to other countries, whereas like, right now with is it the F-35 fighter jet, that there's big talks with selling it to Saudi Arabia, and people aren't sure. They want to sell them like 45 of these, but they're worried they're going to sell them to Iran and Russia, and the tech will just scale to everyone else after. And like U.S. wants to keep it for themselves, kind of thing.
One of the aspects about the F-35 is the tech is in the avionics and it's in the weapon systems. So you're not, and the thing is that people don't understand is that, like, the United States has the off button, like you can sell them the aircraft, but then we still control the software updates.
Yeah, but they can reverse engineer it, no?
I mean, I guess you could, but I don't see Saudi Arabia turning around and flying the thing to China and landing it like the Russians did in Japan back in the 80s.
Right, but that's anytime soon. In the long run, they will. Just like the nuclear bomb, right?
Let's look at it from this perspective. The United States always holds on to its highest tech. It's why we've never given the F-22 to any foreign military. You have an air dominance fighter, and that's the F-30. That was the F-22. Now with the F-35, the F-35 is just it's replacing it's an unbelievably highly technologically advanced aircraft. It's 5th generation stealth. But now we're coming out with the next variant. We're coming out for the replacement of the F-22. But you want to form coalitions, and we sold F-15s to the Saudis. Before the F-22, the F-15 was the air superiority fighter, and we sold it to the Israelis. We sold it to the Saudis. We're going to sell it to anybody that's going to hold our interests close at home. So the F-35, the sale of the F-35 is it's a hot topic right now just because of what happened with the journalist and all that crap that happened. Or I wouldn't say it's crap; it was horrible what happened to him. But that's the Saudis is a lot more political now because of what has happened in the last 5 years. But our relationship with the Saudis is not going to change one bit.
Well, let me ask you guys a question, each of you, just out of your curious opinion. What would you have thought about the last 48 hours with the stock situation if that short report had never come out? What would you have thought? Just like surprised, or what would you have thought?
I wouldn't have thought. Yeah, I would have been like, man, it's tanking. Okay, people are getting out of their positions, but
I highly doubt enough people read that short position. It's what we said, it was directed toward retail. Retail is kind of like on Reddit, listening to my channel or Hustle Brothers or whatever. And all that we've been talking about it is how it's absurd. Where is retail's sentiment that this is legit and they're selling? I don't really see it happening. I don't know. Look at everyone in the chat here. They're like, fuck Pelican,
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just a perfect storm of people were kind of surprised that Hover didn't get hit as hard in the last couple weeks as other stuff, because we were coming down from the 4 and then we started kind of going sideways a little bit for what, like 2 weeks or whatever, right?
It's normal. This is a correction after going up for so
Yeah.
freaking long and so much too. It's not like we just went up like a couple tens percentage. We went up literally hundreds of percentage in the last couple months.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Smoking Gun says, hit the like button, guys. That is right. Please hit the like button. That helps us get out there to a little bit more. And also, please subscribe. I just hit $4.99. I am one away, I think. Maybe I'm already there from 5 to 500, which that's pretty cool and exciting. At 500, I actually get some perks on my, I'm at 501. Let's go. Okay.
All right.
Now my channel is going to change. Now I can create. I actually really wanted to create a lot of extra videos that I wouldn't post on my main channel and just have like a membership thing, like free members or whatever. So maybe I'll do that now. And I'll post a little more to anyone who's interested. Because I want to post like
what's going to happen. What's going to happen first? Are you going to 10x or is HOVR going to 10x?
What, my subscribers from 500 to 5,000?
Yeah, or is HOVR going to 10x?
Honestly, it might be together, right? As HOVR 10x's
move together.
Yeah.
All
People
right,
are going to watch my channel more. Ideally, let's see. That'd be awesome. Yeah, thanks, Smoking Gun. Dean says Canada is NATO. That's right. So I guess they could sell, you're saying, to any NATO countries. U.S. Air Force were the first to give a check to Brandon to help build the prototype X5. I actually didn't know that. That is very interesting.
I believe that was with the was it AFWorks? I think they said they got an AFWorks contract.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
See, that's just green flag. To that guy. All right.
I believe they needed the Ohio mailbox for that, because in the end it's just the mailbox to do things. But I believe they had to have that there for that.
They have good points about dilution and selling. It's a lot, but hopefully they putting in that work. You know what? We didn't talk too much about that, actually. Kind of skipped over that a little bit. Should we talk a little about the dilution? I will say I didn't fully look at the chart. So on like the third of 4 points there, he did say something like, oh, we don't know what we're talking about. The chart's not even mentioning or representing dilution or whatever we thought. Fair enough. But the point he was still making was that they're diluting. And my point that I was still making is as the stock goes up, dilution is proper. As the stock goes down, dilution is, scary and bad for the company. So that's just my general point there, as a little response to that kind
The
of.
available shares, I haven't checked in the last 30 seconds, but it seemed the same last time I looked at it, unless these guys got some, crystal ball update other people don't have.
Speaking of crystal balls, I don't know anything about some upcoming. You think we hear anything soon about the conferences taking place this month and next month? I don't know. But HOVR has been public about, they post on YouTube and stuff. They're public about their stuff. So hopefully we will be seeing stuff about that.
Yeah, they released a video of his most recent conference that they did. It came out I think 10 days ago or something like that. It was the one, it's on YouTube. It's got a picture of the white Cav X7 on the front. And it's just a slideshow, and he's talking to investors. And that came out 10 days ago or something like that.
Big Daddy Buyer says, Mark, what the fuck? I actually don't know what Mark got me. Mark,
that was
draw. What are they talking about?
He's talking about my comment about Andrew.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really.
Big Daddy, you like to make a lot of comments about how we look. I mean, come on, you gotta come on. We gotta see how you look.
Explosive growth is my share count over the past week. What a solid discount. Yeah. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, look at this as a gift. Look
That's
look
how
at this
I
as a
look.
gift because this company's got a 2-year runway. So I would look at anything right now at these price levels as a gift.
Honestly, thinking about it, almost every penny stock is just down. What other? I want to find some other good companies that are penny stocks because all of them are just discounted right now. Like Hover, I'm in heavy. I'm in heavy SCWO, doubling down. I still have more money to go. What should I buy? I don't know. Comments. Let me know what other penny stocks you guys are in. Maybe what we should pay attention to. I know Anthony has some, but I'm actually in some of the ones Anthony has talked about a bit. Actually, you sold out of your Tron, no?
I did. I took profit on my Tron, and it has gone beneath where I got out. So there's that. I was doing some. I was doing the Nancy Pelosi with the William George Brumder, and I was getting into stuff he was in, and because he's in the GoPro and all those kind of things. But yeah, it's like at $1.80 now. Tron $1.90, something like that. But it's probably one of those holds you just got to hold till Daddy JT. No, Daddy, what's his name?
Big Daddy.
Yeah, Big
Big Daddy
Daddy
buyer.
Donald Trump.
Buyer.
Yeah, Big Daddy Donald
Oh,
Trump.
no.
He announces something about crypto world or something like that, stable coin, and then Tron will probably go or whatever. But that's one of those long term holds. The only thing I feel comfortable holding long term is very few things. I like Hover. Hover, two thumbs up for me on Hover.
It's interesting. Big Daddy Buyer 10 just reference DLVT. If you bring up that chart looks so close to what Hover just did in terms of price action. Yeah, like they were down. Let's see.
Do you know what the company is?
Data Vault AI Inc. It's an AI company, but
Yep.
they were at 25 cents in September, shot up to $4.10, and now they're back down to $1.75. They went all the way down to $1.25. So it would be interesting to look at a lot of these really small stocks and see how much of them have tanked to the same level that Hover has tanked as well.
Yeah, and reality check time. Like short term tank, long term up. It's like these a lot of guys play these because they know that the full scale is not coming out for a year. So a lot of these guys, when the news comes out, they'll sell at the top because they know everybody's going to sell because they don't feel like it's got that buy and hold with conviction quite yet. So they're going to get out, get back in, get out, get back in. But as time goes on, we're just going to have higher lows anyway. See, I like to be a lazy trader. I just want to buy it, hold it, and sell it. Now, if we wick out and go crazy one day, yeah, sure, I'll probably lock in and get back out. But I haven't seen that particular opportunity yet because I think it's still undervalued. But we got to be in, we all have to understand that is the kind of ride this is. Like, they're going to come out with stuff, advancements, and then it's going to go up and have a higher low. Then it's going to go sideways, down, up, whatever. Then new thing, come up. But then one day, we're going to be up into, we will be doing that for a period of time, and then we'll be, in a very higher range and so forth. But we can't be surprised. Like, it can't be a shocker.
Let me get to the comments here. We have quite a lot of interesting and funny comments, but I'm going to go from the order we were at.
But before you do that, I want to step right in. DLVT, I'm looking at their like 10-year. This company was at $1,682,000.
Oh boy!
And now they're down to $1.75.
Wow!
Now that's a lot of dilution.
That is a lot of dilution, and that shows
I'm
not scared to keep diluting. I'm not the biggest fan of that. See, Hover and SCW.
Big Daddy, why did they tank? I want them to know why they tanked.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Upgrade. What's up? I've seen you a lot. I don't know how to say that name. Sorry, dude. I doubt Pelican has done better due diligence than Canso Investment. Great freaking point, right? That due diligence looks not even close to what good due diligence should be. Honestly, I've seen better due diligence on Reddit, which is crazy. This guy, whatever.
True.
The firm, The firm that single-handedly saved Bombardier. That's true too. Who owns the largest stake in HOVR? Brandon's family, right?
I don't know. I'm sure probably they're investors.
Yeah. Dates of upcoming events
Cancel,
are
probably
posted on
cancel.
highlights. That's right. They're posted on the highlights of the Reddit. You guys can check that out. Brandon Robinson's family venture. He's answering. They're the biggest stakeholders of HOVR. That's right. Canso is investor major. Yep. So Brandon is tricking Canso. That's right. Is he? No, I don't think so. We aren't that popular. That is why. He needs to do a shirtless stream so he can 10x.
He's talking. He's again. You're a little bit behind. He's talking about you 10xing, or my question to you about which is going to 10x first. Your subscribers, your subs, or the stock price of HOVR.
So, I'm not going shirtless Big Daddy as much as you want that, but maybe by the end of this, Anthony can come up with a new Brandon Robinson or a HOVR song.
Lightning only strikes once with the music, baby.
Thank God.
All right. I need to really clip that and have that in the intro of every HOVR live stream we do.
I'm going to mail Brandon Robinson a birthday card where it's got that recordable device in it so you can record the happy birthday song. And he's going to open it up and it'll be me singing to him.
That would be so funny.
I think we just need to make we need to make an Anthony Bear, and it's just singing that song when you push its belly.
That's a good idea.
Z Stacker, I got 80K SCWO at like 26 to 27 cents. That is awesome, dude. I'm very curious. Did you get it did you know about SCWO before my channel, or did you buy it since my channel? Because 26 to 27 is quite low. Maybe you started watching before it blew up. Curious. That's cool. Matan, are you going to continue to do future videos on SCWO? Big yes, definitely. And maybe even with management. Actually, I just texted Jim today, waiting to see if, I don't know, I actually have an upcoming vacation soon. As much as trips as I've done, I have another trip coming up, but I'm trying to plan, if I have the time, I want to do like a live Q&A with the team at SCWO. That'd be pretty cool. A little bit of FAQ. You guys can ask them some questions. We can get some live feedback. That'd be cool. But definitely going to continue doing that. I like SCWO mission, to be honest. I don't know if they make it seem like they are relying on government money. No, they're not relying on government money, but they are reliant on, well, I don't want to get too much. It's more about HOVR, but they're reliant on contracts from municipalities. And a lot of times this is like just R&D stuff for municipality. This is the last thing they think about. They think about their day-to-day stuff, not like these innovative new ways to manage their waste. So I think that's a big thing, like, getting a little bit of that framework and people aligned. But once they do understand the problem and the mission, and like this is like a no-brainer to work with them. So I don't know, many reasons to like the company, and we are definitely early, and there are a lot of things to be concerned about. But that's the risks, and that's the volatility you get with these penny stocks. But I'm still in, and I still will be talking about it. As is Mark Berry, he's still in. And he will be talking about it with me. He'll be joining those calls also. Right, Mark?
No option. I got no option. I'm negative on both. So, and you haven't lost until you sold.
That's right. Just buy more HOVR. Diversification is the protection of wealth. Concentration is the maker of it. Yes, can't agree more. Big Daddy says, yeah, they did the same thing as HOVR.
He's referring to my question about how did that company go from over $1 million a share down to nothing.
No, but HOVR didn't do that. HOVR.
He's saying they did this. He's basically referencing that they've diluted. They kept diluting and diluting and diluting this.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
That means they had RS many times. Yep, that's right. Which Hover and SCWO has not, and now that is the big concern that everyone's having, the first RS. So we're lots to see and talk about. Very interesting stuff going on with SCWO.
I'm gonna go out here and make a prediction. Hover will never reverse split because they are under $1 too long. That will never happen. If anything, you could watch this video 20 years from now and they're doing forward splits because the stock is $600 a share and they want to bring it back down Netflix level, bring it
They're
back
gonna
down to $100.
Netflix it. How did Netflix do today, by the way, after their split?
SLDP is a penny stock I got into, but it's out of penny territory now. That's fine if it's still interesting, like a Duro. That's fine. Do you guys know SLDP? Or I'll take a look at that later on my own time, maybe.
Yeah, stock market money is the easiest money you can make, but it works the magic on your wits, your conviction, your adrenal glands, everyone's so economically strangulated in this world. It's like, their portfolio goes down, they want to shit themselves. It's like, all you got to do is just get it and hold it. You know what I mean? It's like, obviously there has to be some portfolio management from now and then. You know what I mean? Sure, you might want to sell if it's really high and buy back in or something like that. But like, look where we're at. Like the governments, countries, they would love to have this thing. This thing is sick, man. You don't need a runway. Like all the people got to build runways and the places you can't go, and the fact that battery technology years out, all electric's got its shackles, and it's like this thing is sick. Like they're not gonna have any trouble. We're simply in the middle of the Oregon Trail. That's all we're at. We're in the middle of the journey, and it's an interesting middle area of the journey. Like you got the other guys, they got the Olympics coming up. They're wearing jackets. They got their American flag with the Olympic logo, and they're making deals, delivering doorknobs to Anduril and all that kind of stuff. Everybody's having a great time, Everybody's buying airports and shit. And Hover's just like, yo, check this out. We got this, and it's like, it's good. So I'm very happy. I might buy some more Hover. I want to join that 50,000 share club ASAP.
Nice. I would love to also. I'm a little far from it. But SCWO is not hard to get 50,000 shares of.
We got some of that too.
Yeah, we do. Let's continue here. Oh, by the way, SLDP, quick look at it. It looks interesting.
Yeah, it's a solid state battery company.
Yeah, and they just started making revenues, it looks like, and they're at just over $5, so they just passed the penny stock. So looks pretty early still, and they're only $1 billion market cap. I will be taking a further look at it, and you'll know if I like it if I start making videos on it, but I'm not too sure. I have to really dive deeper. I like things that are really going to change a lot of the world. And if they have like a really unique approach to it, batteries, I mean, if they're already starting to sell solid state batteries, definitely has big use, but I know there's a lot of bullshit in the space. So I will have to see if they are quite legit and will be able to scale what they're doing. All right, we'll just continue from there. DVLT tanked because they got a bad press release from a short, just like Hover. Really?
No, he's joking. He's joking.
Okay.
He's joking. Dude, it went from $1.5 million a share down to $1.
Yeah.
Well,
over 5 years.
He could be referring to that recent high to the recent low, because like you said, it went from 25 cents up to $4. Now it's at 174. So he could be talking about.
Unless the short was Michael Burry, who can freaking tank the whole market. I don't think the short can do that to a stock as well. You're right. Thanks for catching that, Mark. That's too silly.
He says, "No, I'm not. I'm serious." DVLT. He could be
Bro.
right. Maybe it got shorted to death.
Recently. No, I think he's talking about recently. Because it went from 25 cents to $4 now down. I think he's saying it got shorted recently.
Maybe.
Send us the report, Big Daddy Buyer. I want to see who's that from? Like, what freaking short company did that? Obviously, I hope Pelican. Who's reading Pelican, bro?
It was also over 6 years too. So
yeah.
He asked about ONDS. I know there's some guys that I'm on a channel with that they follow it really closely. I don't follow ONDS that close. I'm pretty sure it's a drone company, and they're getting quite a few orders. The drone space, I think, has got a ton of validity simply because, I mean, you just look at what modern warfare has learned in just the last 4 years in Ukraine, and it's a seismic shift, I think. I mean, in the book of Revelations, they talk about you're going to have to hide in holes because things are going to come out of the sky and kill you. So, like, stuff where you see now are coming to fruition. So, I don't know. Not that I'm a prophet and I want to get into religious back and forths. But anyway, I think ONDS probably they're just getting started as well. I just don't follow it a whole lot. I should. I'm kind of busy doing some other stuff.
True. I don't know much about them at all, but I'm not too big in the drone industry. Big Daddy then says SCWO relies on grants and contracts from the government, and that shit takes forever. That's right. It does take forever. I used to help businesses apply for grants. It takes forever. That's right.
Yeah.
The benefit of that, just like it's high friction to get the contract, it's a lot of high friction to lose it. And that means they're going to be on that contract forever also, and we'll be making money forever. So that's there's both sides of the coin there. I got in SCWO after watching your videos, Matan. Awesome, C-Stacker. Well, you got in at 26.27, so you're pretty much at like break even. I'm sure at a time you were pretty happy like me when we hit that $1. So nice. You seem to be right in the wave. Hopefully it's gonna be coming back. What can I say? I'm in it like you, dude. What's up? Isn't this Iman? Did he change his name? Investing DD. I think he changed his main name. This was Iman.
You know what?
AI eVTOL YouTuber. This is a response to what you said, Anthony. $57 million market cap, guys. It's not the middle of a journey. It's not even at the start. Yeah.
Right. Well, this is just it though. 57 million is their market cap right now. Their market cap was 150 million just a few weeks ago. And quite honestly, I personally think their idea and what they're doing is $500 million to $2 billion. It just hasn't hit yet.
Can't agree more.
Yep.
That's right.
I think the word speculation's overused personally. Like it's all your perspective and what you find to be true. Like if something's true, like I can say today is Tuesday, and then people could say that's speculative because maybe on some part of the planet right now it's Wednesday, right? But this speculation thing is thrown around. Like a woman says she loves you, and then someone could be like, that's speculative. Like, no, you can see that it's true. It is possible in life to see that things are true. And I think people underestimate the ability to see truth, and they just toss around that's speculation. But yeah, there's certain things with HOVR that's speculation, but there's also certain things with HOVR that are true. So I'd recommend everyone just kind of looking at it with a new lens and just being like, okay, like what do I actually see here? Like what am I actually observing? Like what's real about this? What you know what I mean? What can it be? So anyway, I just think the S word is tossed around a little bit too much. Makes smart people, it's dumb people trying to make smart people look dumb. They just speculating. You wouldn't say that to a wizard.
honestly, it's a little hard to conceive big numbers and valuations. Things get crazy. I mean, look at these $1 trillion market caps. Like, what's to say that these are worth what they're worth? The market's the market, honestly. They decide. We think it's worth this. Pelican thinks it's not. And there is some middle ground equilibrium. Right now we're worth 57 million. It's our bet that it's going to be worth 2 billion in a few years based on what we see, what we know, and so be it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, betting on the Cleveland Browns or you're betting on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody's got a favorite pick.
Vast CNC, what's up, bud? Nice to see you join the stream. Any of you guys know XTIA? Yes, we all do. Small aircraft producer moving in the VTOL space. There's some drone ties there with a recent deal. I actually don't know anything about a recent deal. Moving in the VTOL space, they've been around for a long time and have not had much strides. I have had a bullish video on them. I made only one video on them a long time ago. And actually, there is a little bit of a second video that I talked to Mark. We talked about different eVTOLs. And Mark, anything you want to say about XTAA?
Yeah, I've known about XT. It used to be XTI, and now I guess it's XTIA, or maybe that's their ticker. But they've been around for about 10 to 15 years. They want to do a large transport where you just have two big ducted fans out on the wings and then a single ducted fan buried in the fuselage. And the whole thing will run off of a turbo generator, like an APU, an auxiliary power unit. It's kind of a flawed design in the sense that if any one of those rotors gives out, the thing just becomes completely, it's going to fall out of the sky. Taking a big, huge ducted fan like they've got in their design and rotating it into the propulsor phase of the flight, it's not really, you get a lot of aerodynamic inefficiencies. A ducted fan flying through the air is going to be really draggy. And then also their rear ducted fan in the tail, you've got no space for anything like that. Typically, that's where you're going to put your APU, your auxiliary power unit, and there's no space for it. So
also, they've done a lot of reverse splits, and it's a stock I've seen that just gets pump and dumped a lot. So
yeah,
I'll say that about it. And actually, I do own, I just took a look at my Robinhood. I have $2,200 in XTIA. So I actually am a shareholder. And I was a shareholder at a time, and it did this pump and dump, and I sold at $7. I bought back in. My average now is 178. I'm a little down. We're at 153. And I'm purely betting on XTA as a pump and dump. That's why I have only $2,000. Hoping it will have its little pump rise back up to $5-7 or whatever, and I'm gonna sell. I'm not in it for the long run. This one for me is a little trade, a little gamble in the eVTOL space.
Yeah. But if you look at what Vass said, the last comment he just put in, U.S. Marine Corps invested $25 million. This is just it. We're in a really unique time right now where you have this convergence of, we've got the divergence of your standard, how airplanes fly. You now have eVTOLs, HEVTOLs, electric CTOLs, and you have drones. And any one of these companies could just downsize and say, we're going to just go more into the drone market because that's where there's a lot of money at this point, or where we can build and raise capital. And it's a lot, it's a lot easier to do. It's go and start building kinetic drones. I thought about, man, how cool would it be to design a drone that just sits in your yard like a guard dog, and it just sits there on a charging station. If somebody walks into your yard, it flies up to them and says, "Hey, get the hell out of here." It's geofenced to your yard. I think we're going to see that. We're going to see that in no time. That's only going to be a matter of time.
Hey, Mark, what you need to watch?
We should have mosquito-eating drones for down here on the coast.
You need to watch Netflix, Black Mirror, that show that has all the kind of dystopian kind of like sci-fi 1 hour little films. There's one called Heavy Metal about the killer dogs. That one's really good. It's
All right.
shot in black and white. Yeah.
I've seen it. I know which one you're talking
Yeah,
about.
see
You know which one I'm talking about. That
I
one's
know
good.
every episode. Name me any. Yeah.
Whoa, my man's on it.
Yeah. But no, Mark has to first watch Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
True.
I gotta watch that first. Yeah. We'll watch it when you come to my place in North Carolina.
Let's do that. That'd be
Sweet.
fun. Z-Stacker, yes, Cancel does own 33% of Hover. That is crazy. Not only that's crazy, that is bullish. So take what you will with that.
Yeah.
Cancel only bets on winners. That's right. That is right. No, I'm not serious. DVLT. Okay. Well, so why are you telling me to look at it? Wolfpack, I believe it recently just happened.
We're again talking about a short report in DVLT dropping so much. I think they're
Wolfpack, I guess, is the company that did it. Vast CNC is also my actual handle there.
What's up, Vast? Good to see you.
ABAT is a battery play that got their grant pulled. They tanked hard. That's what I'm talking. I don't like battery plays. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm not touching batteries. Honestly, Tesla has and will innovate and know the best batteries. If batteries are not working with Tesla, like I'm not interested at all. What are they gonna do? Tesla knows the best batteries. There's no way they don't.
That's a good point.
Yes, it's Wednesday, 4:47, correct?
You know what's funny too with
What's up,
Hover?
Bill Williams? I haven't ever seen this person. Hey, buddy.
Like even look at ABAT. Like they got their government contract pulled and then the stock tanked and stuff like that. Like the funny thing with Hover is it's very self-contained. Like they got enough money to make the plane. They're not like beholden to anyone in particular. Brandon even said a lot of banks and people were trying to get there to give them like loans and different deals and stuff, and they don't want to get into that dwindling spiral. And it's like the mathematics of everything in that the financial area. It seems fine. I don't see any red flags or anything personally, but I'm colorblind, I guess.
Was that coconut water you were just sipping on?
It was.
So we got Anthony, the garlic guy, and Mark is the coconut guy.
Coconut is very good for you.
Maybe on the next stream, I need to get some interesting thing to have here. Lemonade. I'm the lemonade guy today. I'm the lemon guy. I need some garlic, actually. I'm a little sick right now. My throat's getting bad. It's getting a little late. We should wrap this up, honestly.
Yeah, let's run through it. There's a question for me. Upgrade. Mark. Yeah, go down. Yeah. What do you think of the 3 candidates for Hover part supplier deal? Pratt Whitney is locked in. Of course, they've got MT props for their propulsor. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'll say it because I think Brandon said it. They're using MRAX motors, which are is going to be their motor supplier. MRAX is out of Europe. I've done quite a bit of research on these motors. They've got a whole host of different supply of motor or different size motors. So I think for their electrical motors, it's going to be MRAX. I don't know if that's locked in or not though yet. So don't take me on that. I would not be surprised. I mean, really, after you've got your PTC, you've got the main motor. It'll be interesting to see what their avionics suite will be. If they'll go with like Garmin, will they go with Avidyne? Probably not going to go with something as big as like Honeywell. I would expect it'll be a Garmin suite just because Garmin is really kind of running the market.
That'd be
so
cool.
That's for avionics. They're probably not going to announce a supplier for their airframe because their airframe is going to be a one-off. They're building just their concept demonstrator. So with a concept demonstrator, they're probably just going to an outside composite shop. Most likely the same composite shop that built their X5 will be the same composite shop that built their X7 because I expect they probably have a good relationship with them. Honestly, things like wheels, tires, landing gears, all that stuff, For a concept demonstrator, you could theoretically just make it in-house. So, a lot of vertical integration in their design in that respect. They get further when you start getting into type certification. Then, of course, you're probably going to go to a supplier for who's going to make your landing gear and whatnot.
And all of this is why they don't need a big factory. Also,
it is, yeah. So, yeah, but explosive growth. I think. I mean, some of those. I know that they've already got their PT6. They've already got that in house. Brandon has said that they've already started developing, or they've already gotten their motors and they're running them, which then tells me that they probably have their battery packs figured out as well. And so, a lot of those components are probably already coming together, and it's just a function of just integrating it all.
Big Daddy likes your drone idea. He says that's pretty cool, Mark.
Yeah. You know what I think would be the coolest drone idea ever? I'm just going to throw this out here on the channel, and if someone wants to copy it, go ahead. I think, we got all these nuclear weapons in silos, right? How hard would it be to just develop a drone that would burrow into the ground secretly next to a nuclear weapon silo, and it would just sit there and wait for the ground to start shaking, and then when the missile comes out of the silo, the drone just goes and attaches to it and blows it up right there. Done. No need for some huge Iron Dome shield. No need for anything. Just take it out right at the source.
Cool idea.
Trojan horse program.
Incredibly hard.
Trojan horse, yeah.
No,
that's some Anduril tech. I mean, that's.
I mean, how hard it would be? Yeah, I mean,
how hard? What do you mean?
It wouldn't. Well, it'd be easy. You just build something that can dig into the ground and hide itself. The hardest part though is keeping it hidden. Some guy walks along, he's like, "What the fuck's this hole in the ground? I'm gonna stick my hand down in here."
Okay, but then you need to have enough energy source or whatever to detect forever, and then when something happens, go back up in the air and explode it.
Tiny little nuclear generator or something like that.
That's like War of the Worlds, right? They was down in there. They was waiting.
Yeah,
it popped out.
You know what? A lot of the stuff is also just things hidden in plain sight. Maybe no one thought of that, so no one's working on it. But maybe it is feasible. Who knows? Definitely interesting. But yeah, HOVR's not going to definitely do that. So let's get back to HOVR.
Let's dig some holes.
The boring company. No unusual machines ticker UMAC drone components player. I saw Vast CNC said we should have visited Unusual Machines when we were in Orlando. They're operated there. We definitely missed on that opportunity. That would have been cool. Well, I mean, it's not like an opportunity. We have to schedule with them, so it's not that straightforward to knock on their door. But I don't know what they really do. I like that name.
Yeah, they were around $1 or something, and then one of Donald Trump's sons got on the board of directors, and then it just rocketed off.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. HOVR has Canada backing, hopefully Bombardier on deck. Yellow Bat. Oh,
that would be
Bat.
huge.
Discord. I've never seen you join the YouTube live. What's up, buddy? Spoken to him a few times. Yellow Bat has made some of the coolest freaking 3D hover animations. Did you see on the Reddit those? It was so cool. I'm gonna send you guys in the chat after. Honestly, it didn't get too many likes. It went pretty under the radar. He made some of the coolest freaking shit for HOVR, I think.
Brandon ain't lied to us yet. He ain't lied to us yet. You know what I'm saying? They just do what makes sense. And hey, let's be honest. Let's be logical. What would make sense for a company like ours? Blah, 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 blah. He ain't lied to us yet. Everything he said done been happening.
So Yellow Bat's giving us some numbers, and AGM is trading 4 days away, November 25th. What is that? What is AGM? I don't know what he means. Iman says, let's dig some holes. Wait, this is Iman, and that's the same image as Investing DD. You have 2 channels? What is that about? Okay.
Or is it just a standard face?
I don't know, these AI guys.
IO Man, I think you have a fan, and he's on this channel.
Oh, maybe. Yo, I have an impersonator. Someone's been impersonating my Discord, and yesterday I got someone impersonated my freaking business and reached out to all my clients, all my website clients, and sent them some fucking bullshit email with like a fake footer of me. And all my clients responded to me, "Hey, not sure if this is you. Do I need to do something?" Because he sent some really concerning email. People are impersonating me. It's really weird. Like, fuck off. Anyways, yeah. So let's wrap it up. Oh,
I'm
annual.
ready for the worst. I'm ready for the worst. If we had the Black Swan event where everything just tanked and there's people jumping off buildings because their portfolios are so bad, you know, full scale's flying. 10 to 18 months. Bear market ain't gonna last that long. We good.
We'll be
Good.
fine.
And we are on for an hour and a half.
All right.
It's getting late here. I know it's a little earlier up in the valley there for you, Anthony.
Yeah, it's all good. We
Um,
don't sleep.
Yeah. Any final words from you guys before I end with my typical final words?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I think this is a gift that we're kind of getting right now. Just this market drawdown and hover being drawn down. Remember, lows are tested and then highs get tested again. So I think with a bit of news and the market shifting back to the positive, I think you could see, hover going back into the 2 to 3s pretty quickly. Not investment advice, but and me personally, I'm really down negative on hover because I bought in the 3s. I bought back in the 3s. So I'm going to dollar cost average down and wait it out.
Anthony?
Yeah, what was even the reason we did this? The market's acting weird, don't have the tunnel vision, be long-term minded. That's more of a sane approach. Probably good. Look at the sector. EVTOL is going to be awesome. Moving people is never going to go out of style. Maybe PlayStation 1 isn't used anymore or Nintendo, but people are always going to be moving to the sky. So we got some, job security there for the company. And didn't look at the technology. Look at what they've done. Look at what they got. Look who they got. Don't waver if it gets a little weird or tough because the early travelers they reap the best rewards, right? The early travelers, the early pioneers, they reap the best rewards, but it was the most dangerous for them, and that is the situation we are in. And it's all going to be fine. I'm very happy. God bless America.
Yeah.
God bless.
And Canada.
Coconut water, garlic, and what are you drinking, Matan?
Lemonade.
Lemonade.
Thank you all for watching. God bless. And
talk to you guys.
As always, until next time, guys, stay thinking, question everything, and peace out.